So now let's make sure we understand what the Ninth Amendment says. Let's start with the first phrase. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights. Well, clearly what it's saying is, within the Constitution, within the language of the Constitution, are certain rights. And they've been drawn from history, tradition, common law, and natural law. An example of that would be the 14th Amendment, and because that's where the rights to abortion and same-sex marriage all come from, that would be, of course, an important enumerated right. But the second part of the sentence of the Ninth Amendment says that we have others. Well, as a matter of logical necessity and clear grammatical construction, the other rights that we the people hold that the federal government cannot mess with are, well, outside the Constitution. There's no other place they could be. So how would we know what those others are? Well, we would look inside the sphere from which the enumerated rights were drawn to find the other rights, namely history, tradition, common law, and natural law. Now, in our nation, the common law is perhaps the most important of all of those, and the Supreme Court has acknowledged its importance in a number of cases, but one of them that we'll take a quick look at is from right after the adoption of the 14th Amendment. So it would apply to the 14th Amendment. And here's what the court said, quote, "The interpretation of the Constitution of the United States, which includes all the amendments that would then be adopted, is necessarily influenced by the fact that its provisions are framed in the language of the English common law and are to be read in light of its history." Now, let me tell you something else the Supreme Court actually said to supplement this idea that its provisions were framed in the language of the English common law. In Minor versus Hepperstedt, the United States Supreme Court said the common law was the nomenclature of which the framers of the Constitution were familiar. And nothing has changed since then. And how do I know? Because after the adoption of the 14th Amendment, the Supreme Court is still referring to the language of the English common law. So if you don't understand the English common law, you won't understand the words and the phrases in the United States Constitution. So when the Supreme Court of the United States in Roe versus Wade said, well, we don't know what the word person is, it's not defined anywhere in the Constitution, and everywhere it appears to be used, it applies to somebody that's been born, well, of course, only born people could have certain rights to a jury trial, to not have their homes searched, to have free speech, to exercise religion. But that doesn't exhaust what the common law considered to be a person. The fact is, the Supreme Court didn't tell you that no word in the Constitution is defined, but they're all defined according to the common law. And we're going to look at that a little bit more in the next video.